channel. Quick ride. Started my ride out on Bloody Run. Making my way into Take It Easy. A solo weekend in the valley. Ariella has a tournament that she is coaching. Usually, when that happens, I end up staying in the valley for the weekend, finding projects to do at the house, fun activities like this to do. Just something to get out of the house. I'm not really sure how much trail talk there'll be today. It feels a little scratchy. I think it's just allergy related. I haven't been around anybody necessarily to have COVID again. My eyes were watery too this morning, so I think it's just allergies. Got some stuff on my mind this week. Some work-related stuff. This isn't work to me. This is calming, and if you're familiar with the sentiment of the channel, live life outside of the work that you do, this type of stuff is that, right? The leather project I have in mind for a new wallet design for our online store, e-commerce of Dos Rose Designs. That's fun. Like, that's brain activity outside of, work. I think those kinds of things are going to be the things to help kind of keep me in check this weekend in terms of not letting other stuff from work carry over into my weekend. I comment a lot. I'm not really fast on the bike at all. One, I'm not confident. And two, I know the fat tire bike isn't going to be quick, but I also feel like maybe I'm in too easy of gears as I'm pedaling, because I feel like I'm pedaling and not getting anywhere. That happens in life sometimes, right, too, though. Feel like you're working, and nothing's happening. Maybe that's how I really felt this week. Just doing stuff, and it didn't feel like it helped propel anything forward. I like that bench. It's just on our left. Never taken the time to have a seat out there and kind of sit and listen and just be. Perhaps I need to do that. I think I shared in one of the other videos, I wear these like long pants underneath my bike shorts, these like stretch pants type things, because I'm allergic to everything. I felt like an idiot when I walked in. I had an errand to run this morning on my way to the trails. I had to walk into the bank and deposit an actual check. The last time you had to do that. But I had to do that. So I did. I felt like a idiot walking in there with my long pants on underneath my bike shorts. I could have gone through the drive-thru, I guess, but they weren't open yet. I didn't realize I got there right at 9 when they opened. I didn't realize how early I got up today. Today's Saturday. So January 7th, I think. I don't know. Saturday, early January. And woke up this morning and was on the phone with the internet company. There was something going on with the internet and router beyond what I could control. They were able to patch in and help me fix it. It wasn't even 9 o'clock when I made it to the bank. I'd already been up for a while. I don't even know what time I got up. If the camera caught it, there's a little road runner running back into the cacti. Near the Trap and Skeet Park nearby. If you guys like trail riding, I'm hesitant to call this mountain biking. There aren't mountains, so I'll just try to be honest with what it is. Trail riding, at least here where I'm at now. You guys have trails you like to ride in your local immediate area, place you go out to when you need to be outside, go for a walk, go for a ride. Share those in the comments. I do have quite a bit planned for the weekend while I'm solo. Probably won't get it all done and probably have a lot more planned than what I should. You know, rest, recoup, and deal with the week, but it makes me feel a little bit better somehow to have things planned so that if my brain and my emotions just kind of get out of whack a little, I can focus on something. I have something to focus on. I don't have to create something to focus on. There's already a plan. Sometimes that's just helpful. Quick sip of water. Keep on pedaling. There's another metaphor for life today. Quick break when you need it. Keep on going. But anyway, I know I want a sewing machine for the journal covers, the pad folios, and the bags. But then again, so with that in mind, I know I need a heavy-duty sewing machine. And if money weren't a thing, weren't a, concern, it's not a concern. If I could justify spending $3,000 on a Cobra leather heavy-duty sewing machine, I would. But in good conscience, I can't. Like, it just seems ridiculously silly. Especially because I don't want it for every aspect of the business. Like, I still want could I save time and sewing machine stitch all of my wallets? Yeah, I could. People, myself included, like the idea of hand-stitched, handmade, even if there's the tiniest of imperfections. It's character. It's not mass producing these things. I started out doing custom orders. Can't mass produce custom orders. So yeah, I could do that. But when most of my leather business is hand stitched, and I plan to keep it that way, and I just want to save my hands, my fingers, from stitching journal covers bags and Padfolio covers. And those go in spurts in terms of how popular they are. I think they're more popular around like holidays and such. People like the idea of giving somebody something kind of personal, and a journal for so many people can be just that. It can be the place of refuge or the place of inspiration or whatever it is to, you know, so many people. Now that the holidays have passed, those aren't quite as popular. And you know, when I go sell at like weekend vendor fairs and such, people pick them up, but they're a little bit bigger. Obviously, it's a journal cover. And while the cost of my leather goods is extremely reasonable, I'm not even paying myself for my time. I'm paying myself to recoup the cost of the material. I'm not even paying myself for my time at this point. But when you sell enough, it obviously pays for your time. But let's say you go to a fair and you only sell, you know, less than 10 items. But wallets range from $20 to $50 on my store. It's dependent upon size. Sometimes it's dependent upon leather. You know, some leathers are far more expensive than others, and I do need to recoup those costs. But not really more. There's not a whole lot that's more than $50 on my site. So it's incredibly reasonably priced. But those journal covers, they pick it up and they're bigger, so they're probably closer to $45 or $50, depending upon a few variables. And they don't really want to spend that like walking around a vendor fair, which I get. The wallets do better in those environments. So can I really justify, I guess is the long part of that story, is can I justify ridiculously expensive heavy-duty leather sewing machine, you know, to sell a few journal covers every quarter. I did not fully commit to going down that downhill. I know I've rolled way worse, but I'm a ways from the truck now. I'm also by myself, and I just wanted to be extra cautious because, you know, also if you follow the channel, I'm a total klutz. It happens more frequently than I care to admit, to be honest. Oh, a little bit of a shimmy with the back tire on that. I think I caught a root I wasn't expecting to. I have a different trail riding mountain bike. I found a specialized hardtail in San Antonio. I don't have enough speed to get up that. I found a specialized hardtail in San Antonio, and it was a little bit neglected. Not terribly neglected, just enough that you couldn't ride it as is when you got it, but the frame was in really good condition. So I bought it for a couple $100 and had it checked out. So the frame is in really good condition. You just swap out essentially just swap out everything else on the bike. But, you know, repaint it, give it a new look. learn something along the way. It's been a while since I found it, probably a year. There's a video on the channel about it with some very basic preliminary ideas for what we can do. A friend of ours helped us out with that video. Kind of also gave us the 411, and we took some notes in terms of everything we knew we needed to do. But we also finally located. Oh man, I don't have enough speed for that. And I know this is here, and I just forget. What was I saying? Oh, so we know what we need to do with it. We just, because we live in separate cities Monday through Friday, it's, and then we hadn't found all the parts to really truly get started on it. We did. We found some parts, and we're kind of ready to take that project into the next step, which is fun. Gives us something to do, and something for our brains to think about on our weekends in San Antonio. If we're not riding, if we're not doing, other family stuff. There's somebody had commented, like, I don't even know if I kept that comment on, that it wasn't neglected. I think he called it like clickbait. Sure, to each his own, but he didn't ride it and hear it having all kinds of issues in terms of trying to, brake and change gears, and probably don't necessarily have the truest understanding of what some of the idiosyncrasies of the work that needed to be done were. And also keep in mind, I at no point am claiming to be an expert in anything that I put on the channel necessarily, even cooking, where I have confidence. I'm still not an expert. I'm not a chef, right? So I think that's important to keep in mind too. So by all means, leave comments. Simple rules: treat others the way you would like to be treated, or your comment might not make it on. I know comments equal engagement, even negative comments equal engagement, but also doing this for fun. This is the space of rejuvenation yourself. Yeah, the premise of the channel. I think I even turned comments off on one of my videos, since I live in way South Texas. There's obviously a lot of border patrol on the bridge for Reynosa, Progreso, Matamoros. There's a lot of border patrol. There also happens to be checkpoints about 70 to 80 miles inland, like in to the state. And it's another set of checks and balances. People got so mad for me commenting on or saying, if you have nothing to hide, say hello. When they ask you if you're an American citizen, if you're an American citizen, just say yes. You don't have to offer up any other info. I'm also just not going to be a complete and total asshole to these people, because the second you do that kind of stuff, they're detaining you. And I tried to say some stuff in the comments, like replying relative to that. And to be honest, I think that probably then that type of engagement contributed to a lot more people watching that particular video and a lot more people commenting. But, you know, there were people that were saying, you're giving up all your rights. You don't have to say anything. Well, no shit. But I'm pretty sure these are the same people that if we didn't have all these Border Patrol checkpoints and they weren't asking questions for us to respond to, pretty sure these are the same people that would be complaining that it's way too easy for people to come and go. Citizen or not, it's way too easy for people to come and go. But, so at that point, I rewrote the description and basically said, you know, we learned in kindergarten that a few bad apples ruin it for everybody. I just turned the comments off on that. But it's kind of sadly interesting that that was the negative commentary that fired up enough people to leave comments. That video has a lot of views, a lot more than the others on my channel. And it wasn't meant to be negative. It was meant to be, if you don't live here, you don't know what to expect. How would you know what to expect? You know, my family, my sister came for a visit, and they flew into San Antonio because it's just easier to fly into San Antonio. I'm there every other weekend anyways. It's easier to fly into San Antonio, pick them up, and drive to the valley. It's just easier. So that's what we did. But on the way back, I also knew that meant they were going to go through the checkpoint in a car. Probably our other car traveling behind us with their kiddos. During certain times of the year, their skin gets awfully dark. It doesn't hurt to have a copy of your birth certificate with you. Or show them your passport. Where, you know, kids have passports too, so this is whatever you have, whatever you're packing, just have it in your day bag and have it. You shouldn't experience anything, but gosh, wouldn't it be a whole lot easier if you did to have the appropriate materials handy so that you can be on your way in good time and not being a part of a potential scene at Border Patrol checkpoints. But you know, you can't convince people of logic, so I stopped trying on that. My shifting feels a little weird. Let me stop for a second. I'm not sure what's going on with that shifter, but I'll need to take a look at it. It should be fine for finishing up the ride. This trail is called Pooh's Forest. It's relatively new to me. It was closed for work not the last time I was here, but last year when I was here. I've been since then a few times and it's been reopened, and I've been on it a few times, but still relatively new. I like it. I like the trail. It's kind of windy, meandering. Oh, but I can smell now I don't know if there is a water treatment plant also nearby. So I suppose that's it. But through that one specific section that I just passed, it smells like dirty diapers. I sincerely hate the tall grass. Oh, there are fire ant piles there. Holy crap. Those are more than, that's more than those piles that were there than last weekend. Come on. I heard there's folks behind me. I'm like, I don't have a riding partner today. I don't like being in people's way when I'm out here, because I know I go slow. I'm not out here. Ooh, I did hit my head on that. I'm not out here for speed. I'm not out here for a death wish. Here, it's general here, like, you know, some people, I watch YouTubers and they, oh, there was something in the grass. I heard it moving. Other YouTubers and the trails they ride, man. Really serious stuff. Not in, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I want to get better. I want to, you know, kind of graduate to next. But within the scope of my skills, and but I would like to be a little bit faster as I pedal through here. Not a lot, like I don't want to go like crazy, but just a little faster. Duck low. Ugh. Quite have that S-like turn dialed in. That's alright. Should be coming out to the end of this trail here pretty quick. I've been riding for 15 minutes or so. Not quite an hour. Forgot to start my watch at the start of the ride. I remembered roughly 5 minutes in. Something like that. Now, I don't think I'm going to do, I have to start this trail. I don't think I'm actually going to do this trail though, but I do have to start it in order to get through it. This is El Gato. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to do this trail, but I have to start it. The other day there were some tree obstacles in the way, and it's a lot of this, and I'm not any good at that. So you're going to see me hike a bike up this thing and be honest about my skills and where I'm at today on this particular day. And probably other days to come. And what we're looking at here, no folks, not the Rio Grande River. And trust me when I say there is an actual wall before 45 wanted to replace it. But this is just like a resaca. We have a lot of those in South Texas. Nice easy pedal here for a hot second. I think this is one of the back roads to the trap and skeet stuff that we kind of hear in the background. Here I'm just looking for a nice easy roll down to the greenway there. We're gonna use the wind to our advantage here. Take a ride on the greenway. It must be part of El Gato right there too. Oh, that's another part of Champagne Run. I haven't been on this part, but I am familiar with Champagne Run in general. So you know what it is? Now I know, I remember from Trailforks. El Gato, if you stay on it, turns into Champagne Run. I haven't been on this stretch of Champagne Run. Oy. Shoe prints. Somebody's been walking this trail. Down we go, a little bumpy bump. The trail's kind of torn up. Needs to be tamped down a little bit. That's what happens when we ride when it's too wet. We get all the ruts. Oh, there's a roadrunner. So that little just extra section of Champagne Run that I picked up, this is where I normally come in for it. And this other one to the left, I've rode that back in towards me. Forget the name of that one. But I rode that when the Psychopath Trail was off limits. It was being restored, or a trail having some restoration done. So they have all of these like trails, and then some of these extra chutes, obviously, for when you're kind of deep into the system, and then they have to close it for work. You can obviously still get back out without having to ride the incorrect way, like in terms of traffic flow. I seriously hate the tall grass. That should be the worst of it, and probably close to the last of it. That stuff right there is why I wear long pants. I would be breaking out in hives if I didn't. If I go out here, I think I'm kind of close to the back of Levee Run. This goes in somewhere for Levee Run. Just not exactly sure where. Oh, now I know. I'm with it now. We can go in there, but I was gonna go look for that hill to roll down. I know where I'm at now, at least I'm familiar with it. This is another like maintenance road. It's at the top edge of the Levee Run Trail. It's getting windy. Maybe I was better staying off on the trail. For a chute to kind of go down into Levee Run to go hit that last downhill, like a little downhill. I just talked myself out of it the other day because I hadn't been on a bike since October. Okay, my battery died, but we found a chute to get back onto the trail. See how we do. My legs are starting to feel it. Just in general, the wind was picking up quite a bit. Starting to fight you a little bit more than normal. I was wrong about the last of the tall grass though. I forgot that there was this section on this trail. It's not as narrow though as the other one. So that's nice. We got some kiddos out here on their bike. Oh yeah, I don't know how to bunny hop, let alone bunny hop on a fat bike. So, whoopsie, up we go. These kids are adventurous. They're like, woods, trees, trails, woohoo! I don't know if that's, I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't have nearly as many fears as I do now. I just know I'm not gonna make it up. My legs are done. I guess I could have come a little further down on that maintenance road. Oh well. Oh well. There's a huge hill coming up. I've never made it up, and I've tried it several times. Going up the hills, with the exception of that one on Elgato, I've tried them all, like, that I've been on. At some point, I've tried them, and probably a few times, and I've just never had enough to get all the way up it. But this hill at the very end, right before the little roll down, yeah, it is tall grass. It is holes that look like snake dens. It's just, oh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. But before we get to that, we got to get through the cactus. The hill's coming up. I'm trying to get into a harder gear so I can pedal, get a little bit of momentum. Here it is. Here we go. And I can just never get enough energy, momentum to get up here. Something up here smells really good though. It's like lavender mixed with like it smells like essential oils up here. So there's a plant in the ground that smells really good. Alright, that's enough for today. Thanks for coming out. And remember to live life outside of the work that you do.